All right, guys, we're at the back of the truck working on some brake stuff. I'm going to do this part in time lapse, and I'll talk to you guys exactly what I've done on the other side. So on this side so far, we got the assassin bar bracket all modified to put on here. I had to modify a little bit to get it on here because it's not designed for this size of tube. It's not a huge deal. I'll talk about that when I do the assassin bar on the other side. The reason I wanted to get it on there was because I wanted to make sure the caliper was going to clear. Now, if you buy the right brackets, this will actually work, I believe. Anyway, for one of these diffs, you can buy a kit for this. It's just that I didn't want to buy the kit. I'm not sure why, but I should have just bought the kit from the amount of screwing around I've done. But anyways, so I'll put a link in the description for the kit and then the parts, if whatever way you guys want to do it. So what I'm going to have to do here on this is, this bracket is not over far enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off, this piece of the axle, and I'm going to take this, cut it apart, move it over, and weld it in the right spot, which seems like an awful lot more work than I really should have to do. But being that I don't want to keep waiting for parts, this is what we're going to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this hub off, and then we are going to cut that piece, weld it on, and then go over to the other side, do the same thing. So let's get after doing that. Hey guys, so today, or this video, all right guys, in this video, we're going to be talking about the rear disc brake setup that I'm doing on this. You can buy a kit to do this. And the reason I didn't buy the kit was because the shipping to Canada is pretty expensive. So I did not do that. But all of this stuff you can buy the individual brackets if you don't want to buy kits. I'll put some links in the description for brackets. There's a couple different places. I bought these from a company in Canada, TMR Customs. But there is a couple companies down in the States that'll make ones that are actually bolt right onto here. You don't have to modify anything, because I had to weld mine on because of the design. But this rotor is off of a 75 K20 and 3/4 ton, obviously, for the 20. Calipers are off of a 75 K30, and then the brake pads are for the K30, and then the brackets, like I said, are from TMR. Now, what I had to do for my bracket, because these were for a Ford Dana 60, so I had to cut this off, and then we have to take you over here. I haven't cut it off on this one because I'm just going to show you just everything. Like I said, you can buy them, they'll bolt right on. It's just I didn't, because I didn't want to pay the shipping. So basically I have to cut this flange off, that flange, because this literally needs to go right on top of that flange. So I'm going to take the torch, same as I did on that side. I'm just going to make it the same. I'll cut this flange off. I only cut half of it off because I'm kind of contemplating making an emergency brake setup, because those calipers don't have an emergency brake setup. Unless I maybe buy the Eldorado ones, because the Eldorado ones are exactly the same, just have the emergency brake cable built into them, but the piston's not as big. So I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But the reason I'm leaving the two front holes is so if I do want to mount a bracket on there for another caliper or whatever it may be, I can do so without having to really do too much work. I can just make up a bracket. Now, granted, I could have made these, but for the price, they're really not that bad. And like I said, if the shipping wasn't crazy on getting the ones out of the States, I probably would have just bought those ones. But it was almost as much for shipping to get them as it was for the brackets. So I wasn't into that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to bring the torch over, and I'll bring you guys along for the ride. Hope best you'll be able to see anyway. I'm going to cut this off. We'll grind it. And then also I'm putting the assassin bar rear piece on, but I'll show that in a separate video, doing the assassin bar on this side. Just so you guys can see how to put those on. If you ever happen to buy a set, you can be able to do that. So, all right, well, let's get after it. Hey guys, so we got a little shameless plug in the video here. I got some new t-shirt designs for you guys that are interested. I know I've had a bunch of guys asking about different t-shirt designs. So here is one of the new ones. And then I wanted to have some injection pump stuff. So there's for my P-pump guys. We also have one that's for the VE guys. And then if you want to help out doing the build on this truck, it's almost done, but we need some more stuff for it. I also got a first gen one. So there's a bunch more on the website. If you want to check that out, go to cutteruprob.com, go to merch. Anything that you do there goes right directly back into the channel. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the guys that are buying. Thanks to my Patreons. And let's get back on with the video. All right, guys, so we got the brakes all done. Well, they're not plumbed yet, but I have lines I'm pretty sure I have in the back that'll work. The ones that were hooked up to the disc brakes to begin with. So I'm hopefully they'll work and I can just hook into this. That'd be super convenient. So we got them all welded on there and they're all lined up. Basically for the lineup part of it, there is probably a better way to do it, but how I did it was I took, what did I do with it now? I took, oh, you guys see a problem there? Because I see a problem. Anybody see the problem? I'll let me know in the comments what the problem is. I'm gonna fix that right now. Not paying attention when I was putting it on. That's why you gotta double check everything. I have to take them off again anyway, but I'm gonna change it. Anyways, what I did was I took two pieces of this thin cardboard, I don't know, maybe it's 60 thou thick, and I double spaced it in there so that there was space between the pad and this caliper mount, because without that, you can't get the pad in with the caliper mount. So anyways, not a huge deal to do. I got it all welded on there. And then spacing, I did the same thing. I just jammed a piece of this in there just so that the adjustment pieces aren't touching. And I still need to line up the rotor. It's not just perfect because they're not hub centric the way that this is set up. So I just got to get it straight and then pinch it tight with these studs and everything will be kosher. So that's the brakes. Pretty simple, I think anyway. To be totally honest with you, if I was going to do it again for you guys, I honestly probably wouldn't do it that way. I would probably just buy the kit for you guys that are doing it. If you know, by the time I bought the rotors and the calipers and the pads and the brackets and all that stuff, I really wasn't that much difference in the kit. The only difference for me was shipping. But if you're down in the States already, for you American guys, I would just buy the kit, I think, to be totally honest with you, if I was doing it again. So that'll be the brake setup. I guess the next video, if you want to see that, will be the arson bars. And then hopefully sooner, oh, we're going to be setting the pinion angle soon too. I bet you the compressor woke some of you guys up. So I'm going to be doing the arson bars next, pinion angle after that. So stay tuned. That video will be linked here somewhere. Check it out. And remember, it's not rocket science, but if you're going to be dumb, you better be tough.